We have a winner after a year-long How Low Can You Go challenge. We are finally ready to unveil the chef on a shoestring who prepared a 3-course meal for the least amount of money. Definitely not the least amount of flavor, though. Drum roll, please. Sounds like a real drum, doesn't it? The winner is Chef Robert Carter of the Peninsula Grill in Charleston, South Carolina. You see him there at the top of the leaderboard. He came in with the tightest budget, well under budget.
Thank you.
And your big prize, you get to come back and feed us again.
Nothing like a Christmas in New York.
Christmas in New York, you're going to get a snowstorm to boot. There may be a little in South Carolina when you get home, who knows? So you've got a meal now under $75, and you have, what, 7 courses for us?
We have 7 different dishes to do today and a lot to do.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Let's do that.
We're going to do, all this is traditional Christmas cooking that's just been jazzed up a little bit.
All right.
So I took green beans, we're roasting them in the oven with pork belly. Pork belly is just bacon, but it's uncooked, unprocessed, and then we braise it for 4 hours and then dice it up. So it's roasted green beans with Vidalia onions and pork belly.
And because we're going through this kind of quickly, I can taste as we go, can't I?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to try your green beans here.
The next dish is going to be a squash casserole, just like Grandma makes, and we take
great flavor.
The twist on the casserole is I'm taking cornflakes, putting brown butter in it to make a fun little brown butter cornflake topping.
Okay.
And then we're just going to crush them up like that.
That's really the fun part, especially when you're having a rough holiday season. I'll make the cornflake topping. Don't worry, it's fine.
So the other fun thing we're doing is making, squash always has mushroom soup on it.
Okay.
This is a homemade wild mushrooms.
I've never actually had squash casserole before, I have to be honest.
These are local South Carolina, Wadmalaw Island, actually, squash that we get at the restaurant with shiitake mushrooms and cremini mushrooms. So we top that with a homemade soup, basically.
Okay. And then we're going to
put that on top. Use your hands. There you go.
My hands, yeah.
And then we're going to bake that in the oven, and so we have the squash casserole. The next dish is going to be a playoff on a sweet potato casserole. I took sweet potato raviolis. We made these because you can buy them in most stores in Charleston. You can.
And that really saves you a lot of time, too.
Absolutely.
To just you say buy it in the store. It's easier.
Absolutely. But it's real easy to take the little wonton wrappers, put a little sweet potato puree in it, and just use those. Then we're topping it with maple marshmallows that we are taking.
See, I thought this was goat cheese earlier. This is a marshmallow.
A marshmallow. Okay. We're going to dip it in the butter.
A little butter.
And then dip it in the seasoning and put it on top.
And what's in the seasoning? It's a little...
That is brown sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, all the things that would go on a sweet potato casserole. Okay. Then we're going to top it with a pecan, and then you just put it in the oven and bake it.
And then you test it while we move along.
Test it. The other dish that we're doing is fun is a...
So far, you're getting a 10, I want you to know.
Wait till you taste this. This is a turnip soup. Sounds kind of unusual.
It does.
But it is absolutely
wonderful. I never would have thought of turnip soup. What else is in there besides turnips?
Turnips, onions, parsnips. And then we garnish this with beet chips. Beet chips are just chips that we slice on a mandolin from a fresh beet.
Which you know is my favorite kitchen tool, right?
It is a fabulous tool. Get nice and sliced, thinly sliced, all kinds of vegetables. Potatoes, you make gratins with this. Then we're going to fry them just in a little bit of oil. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, it's delicious. It's so warm.
Unexpected.
It is. I'm not a huge turnip person, but this is fantastic.
So the beet chips we're frying just in a little bit of canola oil, 350 degrees, and they're going to
not even a minute, probably.
About a minute, and then you want to do this in advance, and as they sit, they get crispy. Nice, easy garnish to do that makes something look great and looks like a lot of time went into it, but it's you see how
it does look really beautiful. And I have to say, as we move along here, one of the things I love is that you've got so much color, which sometimes is a little tough this time of year. You've got so much color on the table with the beets and the beans and the squash.
Well, this is red and white.
I can't stop eating the soup. It's so good.
Down here, we're going to have the piece de resistance of the table, the crown roast of pork. This is what I'm serving for Christmas this year, and we're stuffing it with Hoppin' John.
Which we know brings, well, hopefully you know, but if not, you're about to find out, brings you good luck, right?
It does, it does.
Traditional Southern New Year's dish?
New Year's Day dish. So we... black-eyed peas, rice cooked in a ham stock or chicken stock, little green beans in there, and then we're just going to stuff the...
So you stuff it right in, obviously, after you cook it.
On the top, after it's cooked.
But to cook this roast, this looks like it could be a little intimidating.
You buy it from the store. Your butcher will tie it for you.
Okay.
It's actually two pork loins put together.
So they'll tie that
it
for you.
You buy it like that. You put it in the oven just like any kind of roast.
And how do I make sure it cooks evenly? Just to get my meat thermometer ready and keep testing?
160 degrees. Pork is good. And then I garnished it with a little rosemary sprigs to make it look nice. And we're serving that with green tomato chow chow, which is pickled corn, green tomatoes, and red peppers. And it is a nice little foil for the richness of the pork.
And we have, really quickly, tell me what the dessert is, because we've got some hungry people over at the table.
We have a peach tea vodka a hot toddy to drink with the meal, and a pecan caramel tart with bourbon whipped cream.
You love that peach vodka, don't you? Didn't you have that last time?
We had the iced tea vodka. This is the Firefly vodka that's made in Charleston.
I think we know your drink of choice.
Yes.